Good morning, everyone. My name is MightyStream. I'm going to do your December the 6th just for today in a meditation. Hope you're doing well this morning. You're probably not even awake unless you're on the West Coast. You might still be awake from yesterday. It's 3:40 a.m. So I greet you this morning. I hope you're doing well. The title, oh my, is Romance and Recovery. Let's see what it says. Relationships can be a terribly painful area. That comes from the basic text, page 82. Love is like an elixir for some of us. The excitement of a new lover, the intrigue of exploring intimacy, the sense of release we get from allowing ourselves to become vulnerable. These are all powerful emotions. But we can't forget that we have only a daily reprieve from our addiction. Holding on to this daily reprieve must be the top priority in any recovering addict's life. We can become too involved in our relationship. We can neglect old friends and our sponsor in the process. Then, when things get difficult, we often feel that we can no longer reach out to those who helped us prior to our romantic involvement. This belief can lay the groundwork for a relapse. By consistently working our program and attending meetings, we ensure that we have a network of recovery, even when we're deep in a romance. Our desire to be romantically involved is natural, but we mustn't forget that without our program, even the healthiest relationship will not guard us against the strength of our addiction. Just for today, in my desire for romance, I will not ignore my recovery. Let's take a moment of silence, followed by the we version of the Serenity Prayer. Moment of silence now, please. Thank you, God. Grant us the serenity to accept the things that we cannot change, the courage to change the things that we can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Just for today, please and thank you. So we're talking about romance and recovery. We're talking about this quote here from the basic text on page 82. Relationships can be a terribly painful area, right? And then it goes on and tells us why, because we tend to place what? Unrealistic expectations on ourselves and others. So pull your basic text out and find that sentence and read that, right? We find sometimes when we're in a relationship or experiencing romance and recovery, maybe not even romance in recovery, just romance, a relationship, there's a tendency to be so excited about it that it's quite natural for us to now focus on this romantic relationship. You want to go out, you want to do this, or I mean, it might not be a process of dating. It might be people who are living together or deciding to get married, where this is my focus. This is who I want to be with. This is who I'm committed to, right? And then all of the people that you were committed to in a relationship with, platonically, but related to recovery, they go on the back burner. And you know in your mind that they will be there, right? When you get back to them. But here's the thing that happens. There's something in us that once we develop a habit, whether it be good or bad, that's what you're going to do. So doing something else that you haven't done in a while. It's not easy to do. Okay. So if it takes, they say, scientifically, I don't know that this is sure or not, but they say it takes less time to break a habit than it does to make one, right? And they give like 3 weeks to break a good habit and 6 weeks to establish one. So that's quite a few, dates in between the two, right? So if I get into a relationship and now all of a sudden my best friend, my sponsor, the meetings, these things are no longer my priority or even a part of my life because I'm focused on this relationship, what do you think I'm going to do when things go bad? I guarantee you, I might make a meeting, but the ideal of just calling up people that I sort of dropped is probably not my first thing that I will do. So now here I am suffering without an outlet, resentful, and no one to talk to about it because my mind is telling me, even though initially my mind said, yeah, they'll be there, but now I've gotten in the habit of not having any contact. And it's hard for me to turn to them. So this is what we need to be mindful of, is that we're not going to ignore recovery. Being romantic and having that desire, that's natural. As natural as it is for us to be defocused and step away from some of the healthier things that we were doing as well. That's natural too. So what am I saying? I'm saying you have to put forth the effort to maintain your recovery. It's not going to maintain itself. And if you do that, when things don't go well, you will still have a place that is natural for you to turn to instead of picking up the drum because you're sad or depressed or angry about something that took place in that romantic relationship. Right? It's like building muscle. If I'm going to the gym to build my biceps, and I already know that my right arm is dominant, it would make sense that my biceps would be balanced, that they would look the same, build the same, but your dominant side is always a little bit stronger, always a little bit larger. So wouldn't it make sense to add an extra rep or two on the side that's not so dominant? And then you will look, asymmetrical. You will look even, right? You'll feel balanced. It's the same thing. There's no problem pouring effort into a romantic relationship. That becomes the dominant part of your life. But what about recovery? Your romantic relationship, hopefully, is not the sort of romantic relationship that is trying to carry an addict. Their recovery, if they're in recovery, should be their own. They don't become your meeting. Your partner doesn't become your sponsor. And even though we have pillow talk with people we're in relationships with, that's not the same thing as making a meeting and sharing openly, honestly, about where you're at. So let's be thinking about that. My name is MightyStream. I've enjoyed talking to you today. Hope that you will have a beautiful day on purpose. I know that you will. I plan to talk to you tomorrow.